We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape, but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
This is Leanne McAdoo for InfoWarsLife.com. I'm here with Dr. Edward Group, Master Herbologist and Chief Formulator behind the InfoWars Life products. Dr. Group, what have you been hearing from women who've started taking Super Female Vitality?
You know, we've heard the reviews and feedback from Super Male Vitality, from emails to even excited callers on the radio. Now, the answer for women is here. A new formulation specifically designed for the female body, Super Female Vitality, delivers 10 key herbs that work synergistically to revitalize the unique biology of women.
I'm so glad that you guys made this for women. When he brought me home the bottle of Super Female, I had tons of energy, tons of motivation, a lot of drive. My husband thinks I've been in a better mood. Our relationship, all I can say is it's a lot better now.
I've just started taking Super Female Vitality from InfoWarsLife.com. Supplies are limited, so secure yours today at InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or dial 1-888-253-3139.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there's a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, InfoWars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on the pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level.
We are on the march. The Empire is on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
He rode a blazing saddle. He wore a shining star. His job to offer battle to bad men near and far.
Folks, I'll tell you why they went after Jesse Ventura.
He turned dark.
They've got his phones tapped. He's talked about that when he was governor. It's come out they're blackmailing Congress. They know there's no real dirt on Ventura, and they know that he's not going to sell out to him. I mean, he had one of the top-paying jobs at MSNBC, and he can tell that story, and he wouldn't play ball, so they basically got rid of him. And so they don't like people like that out there. That's why they do these dirty tricks against Ron Paul and so many others. And I've seen it over and over again. So whether Kyle made it up or whether he was drunk and didn't know what was going on, I'm sad for him. But boy, you talk about a Greek tragedy, Governor Ventura. It's wild for me. I mean, you know, you sue him, he dies. Somebody, a crazy guy reportedly shoots him at a shooting range. And then you go to court and you win. And then the Fox News, Fox and Friends I saw was just bizarre, where they wouldn't even say you'd won, basically, when I tuned in. It was all just how horrible you were and, you know, basically like it was true. And I mean, I know you're not litigious and don't like suing people, but at the same time, Fox News, one time O'Reilly, and we played the clip, goes, there's people online sexually stalking women, and there's all sorts of other problems, and pedophilia, and you name it, and hate speech. And they cut to a clip of me yelling and screaming as if I'm a sexual predator when there's never been an accusation of that, never been an issue with that. And then MSNBC, my lawyer, said, no, you can win a lawsuit. It'll cost you $500,000 to $1 million. They'll keep appealing it, and you might get $2 or $3 million. Do you want to spend that much time to get, you know? And I said, no, they're so discredited, saying I'm deeply racist and influenced the Boston bombers with no proof that I'm not going to do it. But my lawyer, the top lawyer in Austin, hands down, #3 in Texas Monthly, he said, you can win this lawsuit, but do you want to do it? I would imagine your lawyer, one of the top guys in the country, well-known, I would imagine he gave you a similar speech. Give us some of the inside baseball on the trial and stuff that wasn't in the news, Governor.
Well, he didn't give me a speech like that. We went from day one David's been my attorney now for 25, 30 years. I can't even remember how long, and I'm not a Johnny-come-lately with David Olson. This past year, he was named the top attorney in the state of Minnesota, which I think he earned and deserved. But I've been with him, and he's been that way for me, you know, all through my career. And we always, you know, when I contacted him, you know, he knew this story was not true because I told him it wasn't. And as we gathered evidence and did depositions, all of their witnesses became ours because, you know, they couldn't state they saw me get hit. Nobody saw the punch. And yet Kyle stated in deposition there were 4 people standing around me within 3 feet when he hit me.
Wow.
Now, where are these 4 people? They couldn't produce them. So, in my opinion, you know, the jury said it was difficult, but to me the evidence was so overwhelming. I had no marks on me. We had photographs. We had everything. So David and I, my attorney, we went into this fully knowing that we had truth on our side, and he knows me well enough after 25 years. I'm not going to back down, that we're going to go to court if it requires that. And when they would not offer any type of, you know, retraction. And like I said, initially, I had told them when I got back into the country, I said, if Chris Kyle will simply go on television with me, admit he fabricated the story, apologize, I would forgive him. We could shake hands and go our separate way. They wouldn't do it. Why? Because the millions were coming in. The cash was paying off. And they weren't about to get away from that money. And, you know, they weren't going to do anything that inhibited do you know the book? So, the book company said it's the biggest. The guy has been there 15 years on the stand, and he said it's the biggest selling book since he's been there.
Incredible. And now they've got Clint Eastwood making a movie out of it.
Yeah. And they're trying, and here's the good one. The day before it went on sale, it had 5,000 pre-orders. After he did Opie and Anthony and O'Reilly that night, 100,000 in one day. And they're trying to say that I didn't have something to do with it?
No, they used you as the detonator. You're absolutely right.
To sell the book.
To then put it on every news channel out there. Jesse Ventura's glad seals are dead and got knocked out. I mean, designed to defame you and designed to enrich themselves while they crap all over you.
Yep.
and anyone else associated with you. And then you're the bad guy for going and proving it was a fraud.
Yeah, that's precisely it, Alex. That's exactly it. I'm now the bad guy for having the truth on my side and going the proper way in a court of law and winning a trial, and now they even question the jury. Oh, how could the jury do this? Well, the jury saw the evidence, and they saw it clearly. You know, because all the people, they're saying it's astounding I won.
Well, you also made the point when I talked to you over Skype when you first learned of this a few years ago when this first happened. Time flies. You said, Alex, plus it would be suicidal to walk into a Navy SEAL bar and say, I'm glad Navy SEALs are being killed.
Oh, that would be the equivalent of walking into the Hell's Angel clubhouse and saying they suck.
Oh, man.
You know, that would be the equivalent. You know, and not only that, but I was there with my friends who testified in the case. In fact, the DeWitts, Bill and Charlene, his wife, that was the first night she ever met me. And both of them testified that I left before they did. And nothing had happened.
Yeah, you're not a big partier. I mean,
well, you know, I am, but it was a 3-day week. We still had the next day, we had a graduation to go to, and then the following day I had a big picnic to do. It was a 3-day event for us because for me it was the graduate. And here's the other thing. If I felt that way about my unit, the Navy SEALs, which I never would, why would I be there attending the graduation of 258? My bicentennial class. I was in class 58. Class 258 was graduating the next morning or the next day, and then we were having a picnic, and that's what the tradition is. When your centennial class, I was there for 158.
Well, the truth is you're not a warmonger. The truth is you're not a warmonger, and a bunch of these guys got around and probably, if I had to speculate, just cooked up, you know, defaming you.
No, one person did. It wasn't a bunch of them.
Yeah.
One person did it.
No, I know, but you said some of his buddies went along with it, though.
Well, put it this way, Alex. If you'll die for someone, won't you lie for him?
Yeah.
Well, you know, they'll all die for him. There's no doubt in my mind about that. You know? And like I told you, remember the SEALs did what they're trained to do. Admit nothing, deny everything, and make counter-accusations.
Sure, but I mean, I come off as a bombastic guy on air, but I'm pretty calm in person. You're calm on air, but also very calm in person, and you're into being in control of the situation, being calm, being cerebral. I mean, it's just as soon as I heard the story, I knew it was completely asinine. And then I called you, and of course it was pure bull. And then all the people laughing at you saying you were a liar, I guess they're still just laughing because we live in this world of just a bunch of dishonorable people, especially in the media.
Well, look, you know how I feel about it? Should we have some fun with it? Do you remember when Chevy Chase did the movie where they went to Vegas Vacation?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you remember the very last scene where they're sitting there with the old guy, and Chevy's trying to win his money back, and the old guy gets the right ticket?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, you know, I won. And the bottom line is Fox News can't hack it. Jesse Ventura beat the odds and won, despite everything they could do to destroy me. See, they thought, mainstream thought, Alex, that they were throwing the last shovel of dirt on the legacy of Jesse Ventura. That I couldn't possibly win this, and it was political suicide for me. Well, I always believe in the truth, always will, and to me the truth prevailed. And, you know, they're attacking now, but the worm will turn. Because more as the truth gets out, it already is. Because there's more and more stories coming out. Chris Kyle stated all the money's going to charity. Well, look at the trial records. None of it hardly has gone to charity. Less than 2% of the millions have gone to charity. And you know what the excuse is? Well, you can't give more than $13,000 without getting taxed. Well, what's the matter with creating a nonprofit? A 5-0, whatever they call it. That's not hard to do.
And, of course, they're not going to make money off the movie either. I mean, I feel sad for his wife because, well, I mean,
she's a millionaire, Alex.
Yeah, but I don't mean...
Do you know how much that the writers have made? $6 million.
$6 million.
$6 million off the book.
No, sure.
Plus, she's got royalties coming for... She travels around the country and does speaking engagements. Gets paid well for that.
Sure, when I say I feel sorry for her, I'm sorry her husband put her in this position.
Okay. Well, you know, maybe you ought to check on something else, too. There's a thing right there in Texas in your bankruptcy courts that she's heavily involved in.
Interesting.
And it very much parallels my case. You ought to check it out. It's right in the Texas bankruptcy courts right now. She's suing Kraft.
Really?
Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of public info on it. You know, we couldn't submit it. We wanted to submit it into the trial. But here, Let me read this from David Olson. Attached is a public document from Taya Kyle's Texas lawsuit against her late husband's business partners. The attached is the answer to the business partners filed to her complaint, and it alleges that Chris Kyle did not include Taya Kyle as a member of his company.